30 years ago, a simple story about a tofu delivery kid changed car culture forever. This year marked the 30th anniversary of Initial D, and somehow we found ourselves in Japan renting a Subaru BRZ, which is technically not an A86, but in spirit, it is the modern 86, except it's a Subaru. The same philosophy, lightweight, rear-wheel drive, and driver-focused. And we were driving it towards Fuji Speedway to celebrate the story that made cars like this matter. Morning everyone, today is the day that we take our car. We leave Tokyo, we're going to Fuji, and over there we're going to be enjoying some of the mountain roads before we go to Fuji Speedway. Parking has been paid for. Ahmed will do the driving. I need to show you one of the nicest features we've added to this car. You can turn your BRZ or 86 into a Rolls Royce by just sticking an umbrella in the cup holder. We left Tokyo and drove towards Fuji Kawaguchi. That night we stayed at a traditional ryokan, a family-run Japanese house overlooking the lake with Mount Fuji behind it. Or at least, that's what it was supposed to look like. Now you might be saying that this is a very spacious room. It's quite nice. But then you're gonna ask, where would you sleep? So this is basically our sleeping arrangement. It's called a futon. This is a small mattress. We've got some pillows and the blankets. So we'll just lay them on the floor over here wherever we think they will be suitable. The next morning we opened the window. Lake, beautiful. Mount Fuji, completely gone. Somehow it kind of fit the whole Initial D vibe. Mountains hidden in the mist, roads disappearing into the clouds, us huffing copium after all the money we spent. Regardless, it was a great experience. We made our way towards Fuji Speedway, and the moment we pulled into the parking lot, we knew we were in the right place. Just walking around the parking lot towards Fuji Speedway, we see a lot of really nice cars. We got an Evo, an S2000. There's quite a lot of them actually over there on that side, but there is a lot of 86s, both the GT86 and the GR86, obviously BRZs as well, including ours. There's a DC5 Integra, an FL5 over here, another FL5, and it's quite windy today. I think in about 30 minutes they will start an Initial D parade, which basically means they're gonna get a bunch of cars that are inspired by the anime, and then they're gonna drive around the track. NA, NB, and ND. The NC is back home. We took the bus from there to the entrance, and there we are. 30 years of Initial D celebrated here at Fuji Speedway. So here at the first area they have a bunch of things. Number one, they've got 3 of the cars there on display with Kiichi Tsuchiya and Max Orido and a bunch of other guys, telling everybody what kind of modifications they have and whatnot. Essentially, this whole area is just car parts and merchandise and a bunch of other different shops as well, where they have their own pop-ups. This is sort of a special yellow limited edition GT86 kind of thing, but what's really interesting about it is that they took the 2.4 liter engine in that and they put it in this. In my personal opinion, I've driven both platforms, and I still think that the older platform, which is this, the GT86, is a bit more nimble, a bit more agile, but now it has 40 extra horsepower, so it's quite interesting. Going up to the grandstands, we take a look at the Initial D parade that I mentioned earlier, where a bunch of people who built cars inspired by the anime took turns to drive on track. Obviously, it wouldn't have been completed without the Eurobeat playing all over the venue. What the hell is this? Nani kuruma desu?
Honda no S660.
Ah, S660. Ah, so it's an S660 that they've turned into an NSX. Completely stripped out. Still has the manual transmission. Nice. NS660. Very nice. If you own any of these cars and you're struggling with finding parts for them, which is usually a big thing since the parts have been discontinued for a long time, this is sort of a revival program called the GR Heritage Parts, where you can scan those QR codes depending on whatever car you have, and then they will show you a catalog of all the parts that they have that they can remanufacture. Obviously this is going to be a little bit more expensive, and by a little bit I mean a lot more expensive, this is one of the options instead of just going with aftermarket parts. Moving on towards the paddocks, we had to take the tunnel to go underneath the track to get to the other side. And what's cool about this tunnel is that they plastered it with multiple panels from the initial D manga, showing you the progression of the story from the beginning of the tunnel to the end. So this is basically an alignment tool that they stick into the hub. They use a shaft that goes in here to align it with the wheel in the back over there. And essentially what you do, instead of actually going to an alignment shop with lasers and whatnot, which is very convenient, but it's not going to be available for you when you're on the racetrack, obviously. So if you want to change the alignment over sessions, this is the best way to do it. It's an attachment that fits on the hub, again with the bar, and then you've got a bunch of gauges that you can tighten over here. You can adjust camber and you can adjust the toe of the car. For whoever is interested in this, you can get more details by just googling their name, and you'll find more details about them. Apparently they are in Tokyo, where obviously it's easier for them to trade. It's starting to get a bit more than a drizzle, so we're just gonna use our umbrella. This is interesting. It's a GT86 with the body kit that makes it look like a McLaren of some sort. Very interesting choice. It's covered, so you can't really see it, but it's also chopped, so it's a convertible. A bunch of wheels on display. They look pretty nice, actually. Look at the exhaust work on this thing. The welding is pretty good until you get here, but that's fine. And they felt the need to do this as well. Nice. Of course, it's not gonna be an initial D event without some drifting. So there was a drift show, and that took place at turns 4, 5 and 6. The thing is, the drivers weren't expecting the rain, and their cars weren't set up for that. So they were sliding, except not in the way that they wanted. After a few tries though, they got the hang of it and they gave us a good show. This is the car that was drifting on the track earlier. It's a GR86 with what seems to be a 2JZ with a bonnet exit that's been covered for obvious reasons. The obvious reason being the rain. And next to it, they got the A86, Fujiwara's A86 obviously. A very nice exact replica. Watanabe wheels, nice meaty tire setup. This is, I think, a replica of Keisuke's car in the third series, in third stage, because it had those fog lights. And then the last two cars are these, the brothers. So we've got the FC RX-7 and the FD RX-7 from the fourth and the fifth stage. I'm actually quite fond of this. It looks really nice, even though I kind of prefer the pop-up headlights, which I think a lot of people would agree, but the diffuser, the wing, it just completes the look. Okay, it started to rain now, and it's getting pretty windy, so I think it's time to call it a day, because everybody else has. So guys, thank you so much for watching. We have a 4-hour drive back to Tokyo now, to our hotel, but the adventure is not over. We still have a few more things to do the next couple of days. See you in the next one.